All right. Well, I think
so
we
bad.
got Steve queued up on the line, ready to come in. Let's
Louis.
welcome him in.
Bro.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, my fellow tank
No
toppers?
way. Did you coordinate this? Hold on.
Dude, once you go tank top, you don't go back. I'm gonna be
That's what I'm
honest with you.
saying. Steve, they don't know, man. They don't
It's,
know what this is about. They don't know this life, man.
It's a lifestyle, brah. You know, I mean,
Oh, cheers. Yes.
there's only the parts that get ruined on your t-shirt are right here. So we just get rid of them from the beginning.
That's right. That's right. Hey, no muss, no fuss.
That's it, dude. Same tank top I've been wearing for 8 years.
Yeah. No, man. Hey, so it's you're here in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm in New Braunfels.
Yeah. So I walk in. It's not cold outside. It's like 60 degrees. I walked in this room and it was like the AC was on 54. Man, I was like, that might be a little chilly. I said we got to turn that off for a second. I said, but they came in sweaters and a pullover or like a hoodie, a hoodie. Man, I'm like, this is not. How can you get your creative juices going wearing a pullover and a sweater?
I will wear shorts up into under 50 degrees. Yeah. If it's over 50 degrees, I am shorts and tank top, maybe a hoodie, but that's it. And then once it goes below 50, maybe you'll get a t-shirt and maybe sweatpants. Yeah. But dude, if it's during the day, sun's out, guns out, baby.
That's what I'm saying. So I made the comment earlier. I was like, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to write in and be like, hey, muscle shirts are for muscles, right? But I was like, yeah, okay, I'll start working out this. That's
I'm doing okay. But
come on, man. My friend. Yeah. Come on. That's awesome.
Let me guess, you got the flip-flops on too, wearing those with the shorts until it's 40s.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
I go full dad. Full
dad. He goes, nope. Dad mode's on.
America's dad.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's fantastic.
Well, the funny part is I chimed in right when you burped. Right when you burped, I was like, "Oh, perfect! My kind of podcast."
Yeah, right.
Welcome in. Yeah, if you don't have a drink, by the way, go ahead and just grab one for yourself.
Yeah. So we're definitely we're a barbecue and beer podcast. We don't always we don't always talk about barbecue, but we always talk about beer. A little off track sometimes. So,
yeah. Well, you know what? I got bad news for you fellas. I absolutely love barbecue. I can't do beer.
Okay.
I'm a whiskey, scotch, tequila guy. All of it on the rocks are neat. I am not once I started drinking whiskey, which was in my early 20s, going back to beer is hard. Beer is heavy. Yeah. It makes me piss all night and I don't get drunk ever.
Yeah, right.
You sound like a professional.
Because your tolerance is too high. Right. No, I think you're right. And so I've been doing this thing now when we go out is like I may do a couple of beers, but then I go straight to whiskey, and that's my go-to. Now, there's a lot of people that hang out with me. They're like, "Hey, can you please just drink beer tonight and don't go to whiskey?" But yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's whatever.
Dude, I'm so hardcore. The only thing I do is if you can smoke it.
Yeah, right.
Right. Cigar, whiskey, and barbecue. If you can smoke it, I do it.
Let's go. So so I mean, obviously you're a talented comedian and whatever. Barbecue though, right? You're on a competition team?
Let's pump the brakes. Okay. Yeah. I hang out with the Helicopters for Heroes competition team.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I am in charge of, that's good. Yeah. Oh, that was delicious.
Yeah. Hey, just like that. Keep doing that. You're good. Just keep it moving. Yeah.
I am an amateur barbecuer that hangs out with a barbecue team that also happens to be my partner in my charity Helicopters for Heroes. So we just tie it all together. So we will be at the barbecue cook-off for the San Antonio Rodeo.
Yeah.
I will be there. I'll probably be wearing the gear. I will look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I have no business in competitions.
Right. Walk around clicking the tongs.
Yeah.
Hey, you over here. Hey, good job, Frank. Yeah, way to turn that.
Yeah, I'm the guy with the towel, the barbecue sauce towel. That's me. I poke it.
Awesome.
Let me poke it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
No, that's freaking badass.
So, but you're barbecuing at the house? You said amateur, so you got a smoker at the house?
I do, man. I love to barbecue. When I lived in California, which I did for 14 years and hated every minute of it, it was so funny when people would go, "Hey, Steve, we're barbecuing. You want to come over?" And I would go there and go, "You are grilling.
Yeah.
You are not barbecuing. You are grilling. This is grilling. Do you people not understand the difference between grilling and barbecuing? You are
Tell him.
you are cooking outside. It's a cookout.
Right.
You are not barbecuing.
Yeah.
A hamburger is not barbecuing. You are
Right.
You are cooking out. So, but I, being a Texan and growing up in Texas, everybody in Texas has we all barbecue, right? And everybody has the expert in the family. They think they're the best barbecuer ever. But I have gone from, I actually jumped to the egg for a little while, and I just couldn't dial it in, and I just couldn't get it. So I went back to, I am an old school pipe, hot box smoker.
Yeah.
I love it. It's what I do. The egg, I mean, you put one coal in there and it's just, I couldn't control it.
Yeah, it goes to 500 degrees. Like, it's only one piece of coal. Why is it so hot in there?
Yeah, why is it 500 degrees?
Right.
And I just couldn't, I couldn't dial the egg in. So I got rid of it, and I'm back to the old pipe smoker where you can get drunk,
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and
right
throw
now.
some mesquite in there and put your brisket a mile away and just, bro, well, I like to call it the set it and forget it, boom.
I love
We're,
that.
we're probably best friends now, man, because you're literally saying the same shit that I talk about all the time. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to feed a log and I want to drink 5 beers. I want to feed another log and I want to, you know what I mean? That's what I want to do.
But that's what drives me crazy about these pellet smokers. And just to be clear, I have no problem with the pellet smoker. But don't sit there and tell me that you are barbecuing. You fucking plugged it in. You plugged it in. You drop some pellets. You it's an oven that blows smoke from pellets.
You got an auger. There's an auger inside. You know what I mean? Like,
I am not telling you that what you made is not good, but please do not. For me, dude, there is nothing better than trimming that brisket in the morning. Putting that rub on it, letting it sit, letting it hit room temperature. You go outside, you load the smoker up, you drop the mesquite on the ground because you think you know what you're doing, and you go, that one's moist enough. That's the one I need.
that's the one.
And you load up and you wait for the fire and you're starting to smell like smoke, and your wife goes, "What are you doing out there?" And you go, "Don't worry about what I'm doing out there. I gotta be out here. I'm barbecuing, woman.
Just worry about the sides."
Yeah, I'm doing man shit out here, okay? And then you load up the logs and you start drinking your whiskey, and maybe you smoke a cigar and you hang out and you freaking wake up in the morning and you let your brisket rest, and it's just okay.
Yeah.
That's my kind of barbecuing.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's edible.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. And then people, they tell you great brisket, Steve. And I go, no. I know what great brisket tastes like. But you know what? I enjoyed every freaking minute
Hell yeah.
of the process.
Yeah.
The process.
Yeah.
That is the best part.
I love that.
There's no process in a fucking Traeger. I'm sorry. No process.
Yeah. Just timetables. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's awesome. Man, I obviously, we're big fans. We definitely seen your specials. You've got a podcast as well, right? You and your wife.
Got a podcast with the wife. It was, I talk about my wife and my family so much on stage that I really wanted to give my audience and my wife a voice, and I wanted the audience to hear her side of the story.
Yeah, I was about to say, give your wife
No,
a
that's
chance to
good,
defend
man.
herself a
That
little
is
bit.
so
you know?
good.
You know, I get on stage, I talk all the crap I want, and then people can watch the podcast and see me and my wife, get her point of view on my opinions and things that we say. And to be honest with you, and I think you guys agree, you know, podcasting is very therapeutic, and it is that hour that I set aside for me and my wife. And to be honest with you, I don't think people do that. I don't think people take 1 hour out of their week to sit with their wife and just have a real discussion. Not to mention a real discussion when you know people are watching. So everybody keeps it cool, right?
Hey, you can't be crazy, right?
Yeah. We can't act like maniacs when we know people are watching.
Right.
But man, you know, I love what I do, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And you know, my wife and we do everything together. We are a team. And you know, I know that some people, they look at their life at 40-ish and go, God, it sucks. What happened? I got these kids, I got this wife, and man, I'm the opposite. I think it's the best time of my life. And you know, raising these kids is to me a blessing and super cool and super awesome. And I love my wife more today than I did yesterday. And dude, life's good, man. I barbecue in the backyard in my Crocs and my tank top, and you know, what's the problem?
Yeah, why is everybody so upset all the time, right?
What's, you
Why
know,
are you stressed out?
Yeah, I laugh when people are like, "Can you believe these kids?" I'm like, "Dude, yeah, they're kids."
Right. That's what kids are supposed to do.
You were just like that. Yeah.
You know, can you believe my son doesn't want to take a shower? I'm like, neither did you, Dick.
Right. Yeah. No. I think you're right though, man. I really do. I think just having that moment of sitting down and I've watched you guys, and you've got a really good not banter, but it's a rapport back and forth, right? It's actually really, really good. I don't know if I know you probably know
He's
this
probably
or
heard that
whatever else.
before.
You
I
probably
bet.
know this already, but it's really freaking good, man. And it's
Well, it is for me. It's therapeutic. For my wife, it's therapeutic, and it's really cool when you know people come to me after my live shows and they go, "Man, we watched the podcast and it really helps our marriage."
yeah.
And oh my gosh, you guys are going through the same thing that we went through. You know, so you know, and me and my wife decided that we're going to be honest. We're going to be real. We've never dumped an episode. There are episodes out there that I'm not proud of, that me and her like got into it or got into an argument, and we looked at the producer, and the producer goes, "We should do another one," and me and my wife go, "No, we're not doing another one.
That's it.
Put it out there. It is how we were feeling. It is real." And you know, I think that the world and America especially is, you know, they're over this perfect celebrity image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's so much fake shit out there. Like, why not have something authentic?
Yeah, man. It's super relatable.
But I think that's what makes you guys attractive. There's no bullshit, man. You guys talk about what you want to talk about and what the things you enjoy, and people love to see it from a real perspective. And you know, this overproduced, you know, TV shows and you know, cooking shows. I mean, in the beginning, you would watch a barbecue show and you would go, "Oh wow, look at that," and then now you go, "Oh, I get it. They made that brisket fucking yesterday."
Yeah, right.
You know, "Oh, here it is," and you're like, "Who made that brisket? How did that happen so fast?" Right?
Listen, the show is shot over like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, right?
Right.
They never change clothes. Like, what the freaking hell is going
You
on
have
with
30
you guys?
minutes to create the perfect brisket. Go.
The one,
or how about when somebody opens the door and they act surprised that the cameras are there, but there's a camera inside.
Yeah, right.
Oh, hey, you're here.
Hey, well, yeah, right. There's an inside camera. Like, dude.
But I think
the funniest thing, because I see it all the time, but I don't ever say anything.
I never even thought of it.
No, I do. I see it. I'm like, how the fuck the camera get in there? Like, you know?
Yeah. Don't be surprised, but look behind you.
Yeah, right.
Wow, what are you guys doing here? Yeah. But I mean, I think people are over it. I think people want to see a real relationship in real life, and people want to have those real conversations because life is not life is life, and we're all living the same life, and that's what I love about my stand up is I am pointing out that hey, here's my marriage, here's my the things I think about, the things I'm going through as a father, the things I'm going through as a husband, and then people watch my show and go, oh, thank God.
Yeah, there's somebody
Like,
else.
oh,
Right?
I'm
not crazy.
Right. Somebody else wants to kill his wife. I do too.
Right,
I'm not gonna do it because I love her, but there's moments of my God, woman, you're driving me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the relatability factor with you and your comedy is
no, yeah.
up there,
So my wife,
perfect.
I was listening to you, and my wife, she stopped. She walked through the living room and she stood almost in front of the television, and she just sitting there, and she's like, she's laughing. I was like, hey, I know it's funny, but can you move out of the way a little bit? Like, I was doing this, right? But no, yeah, I found her just she was cracking up, and I'm like, yeah, man. I said, hey, by the way, I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, he comes on the show. And she's like, there's no way. And she just walks off, right? No, there's no way.
Good luck, loser.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Thanks for the confidence, honey.
Yeah, right.
But that's marriage, dude. Today, I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm doing that podcast this evening. I plugged in my iPad next to my bed. I go, I need it charged. And then literally right before I went to go get the iPad, it was unplugged. And I go, hey, did you unplug my iPad? And she goes, well, yeah, I needed to plug my phone in.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, okay, first of all, it's on my side of the bed. Yeah. Second of all, I told you that I needed full power because I'm podcasting, and you had zero regard for any of it.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. This was dying. I'm sorry. Did you not hear what I said? My phone was dying. I need to charge it up. It's important. Yeah.
That is marriage in a nutshell, and then having kids in a nutshell.
Oh man.
Is taking 10 minutes to peel the perfect orange, and then your kid walks over and goes, "Can I have that?"
Yeah, right.
That is exactly true.
And you're like, you did zero work, dude. Zero.
Yeah.
I peeled this thing perfectly.
Yeah.
I find myself walking into the kitchen. Does anybody want anything before I get what I want?
It's my son's like, "Ooh, that looks delicious." I'm like, "Yeah," because I spent minutes making sure to peel it perfect, and now I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to start peeling another one, and I happen to know that you're going to come and get that one too.
Yeah.
That is being a dad.
That's parenting right there. You know they're going to do it, and they're going to do it again and again. And a parent just wakes up every morning and says, "I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna peel that perfect orange today, just to give it to my kid, to have them take it and have no regard of what it took to do it." Right? And everything. That's parenting. You're 100% correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even worse, finding half of it on the floor.
Yeah. Right.
You're like,
wasted.
Like, yeah, hey buddy, I thought you wanted this orange. Nah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we're ranting, on
I'm full.
Kids, when we were over at John's house and we were trimming some briskets for a cook, his son comes downstairs, takes his trash, brings it all the way downstairs, right? Sets it on the counter in front of the trash can, just walks off. And I was like, every particle of dad in me is just like looking at him, like wanting to like grab this kid, like just right there.
Is this Luke?
Yeah.
Put it in the trash.
He's 17.
Yeah.
So I don't know why my brain went here, but since we're talking brisket and it is a barbecue podcast, are you guys do you brine your brisket?
So we'll do like a dry brine, but not a wet brine. So when we do if you do a wet brine, for I
have
three. See, I've never done the wet brine, right? And I know there's people that they do it overnight and they swear by it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't mind. So I don't mind putting mine in a little bit of marinade or a little bit of whatever. I don't mind that at all, right? James and I were just talking about this the other day, and I used to cheat a little bit in cook-offs because the rule of thumb is like if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I would take and I would like seal up my brisket, but I would put in I would season it. I'd put in some Worcestershire. maybe a little Italian dressing. I was always thinking of something like put something in there, man, a little flavor. Let it sit for 24 hours, and when I would go get tagged in back in the day, so they would tag your meat, and then lady goes, "Damn, this brisket smells good." I just looked at it like, "All right, sounds good, dude." We hit it. We won, right? We won. And again, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Try something.
So I'll give you my cheat, and this is I used to be, if I'm being completely honest, I was at a 60-40 ratio. 60% of my briskets were amazing, and 40% throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
You know, was the 40% edible? Sure, right? We could do a little chopped beef sandwiches, right? Right?
Yeah.
Throw a little sweet baby rays on there, and yeah, well, okay, we ate it, right? But I got to the point where I was about 60-40 good ones. Now I'm up to 75, maybe 85. Now my trick
Let's go.
is I take off all the fat. I trim my brisket down. I throw that in a roaster.
Okay.
I smoke the brisket for, depending on how big it is, I smoke it for about 6-7 hours. And then I put it on the roaster, usually overnight, with the fat that I took out from trimming it.
Okay.
And then I let it finish in the roaster.
Dude.
And it just soaks in, that fat melts down, it renders, and it just soaks in there and makes the brisket amazingly juicy. Yeah. That is my trick. That is my cheat code. Yep. I don't think you can do competition with that, but it has brought my success rate to about 85%.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we've been talking about with the wrapping and whatnot. And then we just at the end there, we just put it in the oven. Like we leave it wrapped up in the foil and everything else with a little bit of we'll use like maybe some beef broth or some whatever au jus. Yeah. And then just put it in the oven, let it finish there, and let it go for a long time.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's very similar to that the Goldie's method, right? So Goldie's method is they take their brisket to 190 to 195, right? They wrap it, and then they take it and put it into a warmer. The warmer sits at 165, and it'll stay in that warmer for 12 hours.
That's what I do. Yep.
I'm telling you right now, man, dude, I'm going to try this. I've got to try it.
But all the fat that I took off when I was trimming it goes into that crock pot.
Damn.
And it all melts down.
Tallow. And it's all beef tallow.
That tallow, man.
And it gets in there. So, I mean, I used to do the same thing where because that was my dad's move, right? My dad, he'd smoke it for 3 hours, wrap it, throw it in the oven, and then in the morning he'd have a good brisket.
Yep.
Because his theory was you cannot push any more smoke into that meat after 3 hours.
Yeah,
right?
He's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the temperature. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that a step further and said, okay, instead of throwing it in the foil, I'm going to put it in this roaster at 165, 175 with all the fat, let the fat melt down, get back into the brisket, and it comes out. And the bark, I thought I was going to lose bark. They come out amazing.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my trick. Anybody can use it.
There it is.
I'm not sitting here acting like I'm some kind of genius or anything, but I have learned to make a successful brisket by cheating.
Right. No, that's not. Listen, that's not cheating, man. That's awesome. And it's I think I know what happens, and I think it's because it allows your brisket to stay at a certain temperature and allows it to keep rendering without drying it out. Right. Drying it out is like it becomes a pot roast, right? You have a roast, and once you overdo, you can't go over. Was it 210, 211? And anything over that, it'll all of a sudden go to roasty, right? It'll be just you can't cut it, you can't do shit with it, right? But no, I think you're exactly right. I think that is a money move. Hey, right now you're getting pro tips right here on Grabbing the Brisket with Steve Trevino right here.
And I use brown sugar as part of my rub.
Okay. Nice.
I use HEB brisket rub with brown sugar. And the brown sugar, it doesn't taste sugary. It just gives it the bark. It's my way of cheating to get the bark.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The sugar's just it's gonna darken it up and make it
badass.
I'll be honest, I never would have thought
You know
about
what?
that.
Here's the
Sugar
deal.
on
a lot of
brisket.
the rubs you're using already have the brown sugar in them. Most of them.
Yeah. But I go crazy with the brown sugar and the rub because, after 14 hours, it's going to be gone anyway, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
smoking meats isn't just cooking, it's an art form. The aroma, those deep flavors, the patience, it's a whole experience.
And behind every great artist, there's the right set of tools. If you're aiming to build your own barbecue pit or dreaming of a custom design tailored just for you, SmokerBuilder.com has your back.
Led by Frank Cox, their expertise is unmatched. Offering blueprints, kits, and insights, they turn every barbecue dream into a flavorful reality.
Imagine your backyard, the center of attention, and at the heart of it, a smoker that's uniquely yours.
It's more than just equipment. It's about crafting those unforgettable moments. And with the guidance of Frank and his team, you're setting the stage for magic.
So whether you're a seasoned pit master or taking your first steps into the smoky world,
head over to SmokerBuilder.com, fill up your carts, and be sure to use the promo code GRABTHEBRISKET in all caps to receive your 10% discount. Smoke on.
Threw down some ribs last night, used the Chicks That Smoke spicy rub, mind blown.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the Chicks That Smoke spicy barbecue all-purpose rub, dude, it is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, if you folks have not given it a shot, you need to.
Honestly, your barbecue will thank you.
Chicks That Smoke, it's at SUCKLEBUSTERS.com. Bro, you know that new Dow Strong knife I just got?
The ridiculously sharp one that I almost cut myself on? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But seriously, it made such a difference in my grilling. Every cut is so clean and precise.
And it's true what they say, a sharp knife is actually a safer knife.
That's accurate. And if our listeners want a new badass knife, they need to go check out Dow Strong.
We got a discount link below right in our podcast description, and just be careful, they are sharp.
Dow Strong, a cut above the rest.
Hey, this is Russ.
This is Kyle.
This is Michelle.
From the Infectious Groove Podcast. Join us every Monday for the most fun you can have with a music podcast. The Infectious Groove Podcast uses a positive and fun approach as we take time every week to share our jammy jams, then dig into a thought-provoking topic discussing all decades and genres of music. You can find the Infectious Groove Podcast on all major podcast platforms, or you can head to infectiousgroovepodcast.com to find us there and subscribe. We might have a controversial opinion here or there, but we always have fun with it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll say something dumb.
Subscribe to the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Oddpods Media Network.
And now it's time for Frank Knows What's Wrong With It. As always, send in your questions to 434-829-2299 or shoot us an email at info@grabeminthebrisket.com.
Hey guys, I'm Frank Cox. I'm the barbecue pit engineer, and I'm back with another question. So we don't know who sent this question in, so if it was you, make sure and tell the Grab 'em in the Brisket boys that it was you. I just got a big old question mark. So if you hear this question, let them know. Anyway, question is there a big difference in types of wood in regards to how hot or how long they burn? So actually, I think there is some science that would say that, yeah, different kinds of wood burn hotter, better BTU capacity, burns longer, stuff like that. But for the most part, what's going to happen is it depends on the moisture content, in my opinion, and like what kind of resins and stuff are in there, how dense the wood grain itself is, how easy is it that this wood combusts. So as with all things, there's trade-offs when it comes to efficiency versus, flavor. And so you can go way down the rabbit hole, and you can look at woods that burn longer and hotter and stuff like that. Jealous Devil has an imported kind that is made out of a wood, charcoal that's made out of a wood called Binkotan, I think is how you say it. That's like the name for axe wood in South America, wherever country it comes from. And axe handle wood or whatever. It's just super, super hard, super hot, and you do get a really long burn time out of that. Charcoal anyway, I've never burned the real wood. As opposed to woods like cherry and stuff like that, that's a softer wood. It's still technically a fruit-bearing wood, nuts or whatever you want to call it. But it's not as heavy as like hickory or oak, stuff like that. So yeah, there is a slight difference, but I don't really notice it enough to adapt my cooking style to use all of one kind or another based on that. I typically wind up going for flavor profile more than I do that. So anyway, I hope that helps. Whoever you are, make sure and tell these boys it was your question so that you can get entered in the drawing at the end of the year. By the way, send your questions in to Grab Them in the Brisket. They're going to tell you how. See ya.
It's that. So living in New Braunfels, and I don't know if people know this. On one corner, we have Blacks.
Yeah.
Caddy corner to Blacks, we have Cooper's. Caddy corner to Blacks, we have Rudy's.
Yeah, right.
All in the same corner, and I've given up on Rudy's. I don't eat there. I go to Cooper's for their beef ribs, and I go to Black's for their brisket.
Yeah,
I'm so hungry now.
I know, man. No, you're right. So I've had both, and I've had all three really. So I think it's a very logical choice of what you made there. Cooper's is good. It's been a staple, right? It's been an OG. Black's has been an OG, but all day long I would pick the brisket at Black's over the Cooper's all day long.
Yeah, Cooper's does a rub, and their brisket is just not. Well, they're open pit too, which open pit that's tough to do.
Yeah,
open pit brisket, But I will say, one of my favorite things growing up, because I am Mexican American, and my mom, her family's from Mexico. Well, my family, but my mom's my grandparents are from Mexico, and all my relatives in Mexico, they all lived on huge ranches, and they're all cattle farmers. Well, they would cut the head of a cow off, skin it, they'd bury it underground, and then for breakfast, you'd wake up and there would be a head of a cow in the middle of the table. Dude. And you would pick the meat out of the face of the cow.
Barbacoa.
Yeah, that's where you get that
and that is barbacoa. But growing up, seeing that's one thing that I want to talk to my mom about. Hey, how was that done? Because I was too young to see it and understand what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
But that's something that I think that I would really love to learn how to do, because there was nothing better than ripping barbacoa out of a cow's cheek and shoving it in a corn tortilla, man. I mean, nothing better, right? And we don't do that here in the States. I mean, sometimes people call it barbacoa, and it's not even real barbacoa.
Yeah, it's not cheek, right? There's no cheek.
It's pot roast, right?
Yeah. They got a sirloin. So I will tell you, I've grown up in Texas my entire life, but being from here, north, so let's say 45 minutes west of Fort Worth, that we kind of grew up that way, right? So they would, for a pig roast, all of our pigs were cooked in the ground, like
Hawaiian style.
That's right. Anything you were doing, cows, anything. This was something that was normal. You just dug a hole and you lit a fire, and then you coal bed down, set everything in. You could wrap tinfoil, whatever else you're going to wrap in. You want to put a layer down, and then you basically cover that whole damn thing back up, and then you dig it up and you fucking eat it.
Well, because now they sell a box. Have you seen that?
Yeah, mm-hmm. That's right.
It's like a wooden box where it's kind of like burying it, but you're putting it into this wooden box. But man, most competition barbecue, it's amazing how it's kind of done this weird kind of deal where it used to be these big pipe smokers, and now they're all going back to the 50-gallon barrel hook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The drums.
Yeah.
And they hook the brisket, they hang it, and they send it up, and it's the most basic barbecuing out there, but people are going back to that.
Yeah, they are.
And they're winning.
You know why?
They're winning.
The freaking millennials, because nobody wants to freaking work for it anymore. And I don't think drums. I'm just being honest, right? I think if you want to, I know, right? If you want to have a freaking cook-off, then call it for what it is. Okay, it's a drum cook-off, right? Do a pellet cook-off. Have the best pellet cook-off you can. Have the best drum cook-off you can, and have the best offset cooking cook-off you can have, right? And then have those guys compete against each other or something. I don't know, but just don't say
I don't know. It's like
one
you can't,
equals the other.
You
And
can't
it's
be a pit master if you're cooking on pellet smokers or if you're cooking on a drum. You have to cook on a stick
everything,
burner.
anything.
Can you get good barbecue on anything else? Yeah, you can.
you
But
can.
you can't be a pit master if you're not using a stick burner.
I don't know how they allow electric barbecue. I don't get. I mean, to me, what you know, you didn't have to pick out the wood. You didn't have. I mean, you know, the guys I hang out with. You know, I'm gonna throw Jake a big shout out here, but I mean, Jake, he wins and he's high up there. But these guys are studying the wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's always telling me, like, he's like, I know what it sounds like when it hits the ground because I don't need a piece of mesquite that is too dry or too wet.
It's thud.
Right? The thud, right? And I mean, there's an art to that, but there's no art to pouring pellets into a grill.
Yeah, it's not sexy for sure.
You know, who's that old lady that they say she just feels the brisket and she knows? There's art to that.
Tootsie.
Yeah. Tootsie walks over there and goes, that one's ready.
Yeah. So that's in
that's Snow's Barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Snow's Barbecue, but I was trying to, what city is that in? It's in
that's in Texas, yep.
It's well, I know.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that.
It's weird that you just keep talking stupid shit. Yeah. I know it's in Texas. It's not that far away from here.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
It's about an hour.
Where are you guys located?
So we're in Houston. We're southeast. We're in Pearland.
Okay, so my hunting lease is in a place called Nixon, Texas.
Yeah.
There's a place there called Pioneer Barbecue.
That sounds familiar.
Oh.
Best barbecue I have ever eaten in my life.
Really?
And because my lease is there. I'm leaving. I'm hungry. Pioneer Barbecue. Okay, I'll stop. Right? I'll bite. I ate this barbecue. I talked to the guy. I go, dude. I go, where are you from? Like, who are you?
Yeah. Why is it so good?
Why is this delicious? Like, who blessed you? Turns out it's a dude from Texas. He went off to the Cordon Bleu chef school.
Yeah.
He was a big time chef for celebrities or whatever. And then he said, man, couldn't leave my Texas roots and wanted to simplify my life. So I bought this barbecue restaurant. He goes, and when I run out, I run out. That is the spirit of barbecue.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it started. You know, I sit here, I cook. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you know your margins and you're like, listen, I'm only going to make this because it's all I need. It's not because I want everything else in the world, right? I just need to sell out. And once I sell out, I don't care, right?
I'm good.
Like, I don't need to make 150 briskets a day. I don't need to make I don't know. Have you seen how many briskets Franklin's does a day?
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot
a day.
Yeah.
Franklin's Barbecue cooks it's like 100 plus briskets a day.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, it's more than that, but it's a crazy number like that. And if you think about a cow only has 2 briskets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're talking about conservation here.
I'm just saying, what the freaking hell? Dude, I don't think we.
Well, and then they have those big old box smokers with the rotisseries, the rotisseries, and those are actually electric.
Yeah.
You know, they are burning wood, but their initial fire is not coals. It is an electric.
Right. As a heat
like a heating element.
Yeah.
That they throw the wood on, but because this guy here in San Marcos, he's got a great place called Hayes Barbecue right off 35, and it's fantastic. And I mean, he took me back there to see his freaking machines, and it is, let's say you said, I mean, he had 150 briskets going, but that's also because, well, he's got to make for tomorrorow, right?
Yeah. Right. No, I know, I get that.
But I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of meat that they're rolling through, and you will never catch me eating lean brisket. Not for me.
Hell yeah!
Just give me the fatty and be done with it, right?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what are you gonna get, a prime? No. You give me the prime rib. I don't. Yeah, I'm a ribeye guy. Don't give me your lean bullshit. You bring me Wagyu. I want all the fat I can find in it.
Wagyu.
And when I get I want mine for the point.
Yeah.
I understand
right.
the flat. Yeah, it's steak skill, everything great.
Yeah,
I want to eat the point. I'm gonna eat the point every single time.
Yeah.
And the way I eat my steak, I call it. Have you heard of Pittsburgh style?
Yeah. Yep.
No,
Yep,
I've
that's how I do it.
I've not heard it.
Black and blue.
Black and blue. Yep.
Really? So what temperature is that? Like, I don't know.
It's just barely past mowing. Yeah.
So
But they char the outside.
yeah, but you're getting like a what? You're getting a piece of steak that let's say your grill's like 700 degrees, and you're just gonna sear it.
Yep.
Damn.
They char the outside, and the char is nice and crispy, but the inside is rare.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
I do like that whenever it's an actual like good cut
If it's
of
a
meat.
good cut of meat, yeah.
If I'm just buying like some choice or select,
The Walmart special?
I'm gonna cook that a little bit more. You know what I mean?
The Wally Martinez special.
Yeah. Right.
We were in Vegas, and I had taken my sister with me, and she was helping me take care of my kids. And I said, hey, we're gonna go eat dinner. You should come. We go to this fancy Vegas restaurant, and the Wagyu was $48 an ounce.
Ooh, that's weird.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, right? I go, give me 8 ounces of the Wagyu. They go to my sister and they go, what are you having? She goes, oh, whatever my brother's having. I'm like,
Hey,
right?
hey, listen.
Yeah, who's paying that bill?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, fine. She's my sister, right? And the best part is they get to her and they go, how do you want your steak? And she goes, well done. He goes, you're getting the chicken. I go, my man.
My freaking man, dude.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's hilarious.
so good.
Yeah.
He was like, I am not cooking this. Well done. You're getting chicken. I go, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll punch her in the face for you.
yeah. What is that? Is it like you're talking about? Was it a cartoon? What is it talking about? Like
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill.
What do you do if
Oh,
someone
God.
asks for a well done? You ask them politely but firmly to leave.
Yeah.
You kind of sound like him, John.
Thank you. I've been working on that. I work
Yeah,
on
you're
it.
working
Yeah.
on Hank
Sometimes,
Hill.
yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
give us something else.
God damn it, Bobby.
Okay. You're getting good, brother. You're getting
You're
good.
getting very good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring you on the road, buddy.
Come on.
Let's go.
Come
Opening
on.
act, John. There you go.
Man. Hey,
That's all I got.
Steve. So obviously you have a career, man. You're a comedian and you've been kicking ass, taking names. What was the inspiration for you to go, you know what, I can fucking do that? Because it's sucking balls. I'm not gonna lie to you.
There are moments in your life that are just hot ironed into your brain, right?
Yeah.
They're just, for whatever reason, there are things that you remember in your life that are just moments. I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I grew up back in our day when we were kids. My parents would party on the weekends and barbecue, and all the men would be outside in the backyard, and all the women would be inside. And us kids would just run around like savages trying to steal beers and taking drags of cigarettes that were not quite put out, right? I remember when I was like 5 or 6, all the parents were in the house, and I had never seen that before. And they were laughing at the TV, and I sat down to watch with them, and it was Richard Pryor.
That's good. Yeah.
And my dad was like, not for you, go over there. And I crawled in the hallway and hid and listened to Richard Pryor, and then listened to the men and women laugh.
Yeah. You didn't know it was funny because you didn't get the jokes. You just knew it was funny.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, I'm doing that. Whatever that guy's doing, I'm doing because there's power in it.
Yeah.
And this guy has everybody in the living room laughing at the same thing all the time, right? And funny you should say, because I told this story to a comedian friend of mine. He goes, dude, you got to tell that story somewhere, somehow. So I'm going to tell it here. I remember when I understood my first joke. I was probably, 8 or 9 years old. My aunt was my babysitter after school, so I'd go over there, and I had a way older cousin, and he was already in high school, and his buddy walks in the door, and he goes, "What's up, dick breath?"
Right.
Right? And I remember thinking, "Oh, it's because he had a dick in his mouth."
Yeah. Oh,
that's why he has dick breath.
It's funny because he could have, but maybe he didn't.
Yeah. He's telling him that he had a dick, And
Yeah.
I just remember having that moment of like, I get it. Like, I know what he means.
Yeah.
Right.
That
was the first time so of course, like my next day at school, I'm like, ooh, they're going to get it. Yeah. I'm going to tell these kids that they're dick breaths, right?
Hey, teacher.
Yeah. But of course, my mind, I guess, comedically was ahead. I go to school and I'm calling everybody dick breath and nobody's getting it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe I was exposed too much and understand what dick is, first of all.
Yeah, right.
But I just remember like having that awe moment of like, I get it.
Yeah, you're in the 5th grade.
Yeah, I'm like in 5th grade, dude.
And you're trying to you're like, no, listen, get it. Hey, Jeff, get it. Listen, kid. Hey, dick breath. It's funny. Get it? Right? Let me just explain it to you. You don't get it? Fuck you. Get out of here, Jeff. Give me somebody else over here. Let me tell this joke again. No, I love it, man.
It's like Steve, what was the defining moment in your life? Dick breath.
This is the greatest comedian origin story I've ever heard in my life. Like,
I love this. So are you touring? What are you doing? Are you I know you got shows and whatever else, but are you?
Well, look, comics. That's how we make our money. We're constantly touring. I'll be up in the morning at 4:30 in the morning to go to the airport so I can fly to Charleston, South Carolina to do a show.
Man, I just came back from South Carolina this week. It's beautiful there.
It's beautiful. I mean, they can talk all their shit about their barbecue, but they're nothing close to Texas.
No, I don't know. I didn't even entertain the barbecue there. I just came back from Greer. I flew into Greenville. And dude, Greer, South Carolina. I'm not gonna lie. If you get a chance, it's not that far from you. It's about an hour and a half or so before you're flying into. But man, it's like Mayberry met like the 21st century.
All the towns there.
Beautiful, man.
So I'm doing Charleston on Friday, and then I'm doing Durham on Saturday. And then it's home for the week and husband time, daddy time, and back on the road. Next weekend I'm filming my Netflix special.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm filming my Netflix special at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio.
Okay.
But I'm always on the road, and it's just part of my life. I remember hanging out with Chris Rock at the Comedy Store, and this young comic, he goes over to our conversation, and he goes, "Man, I just can't wait so I don't have to tour anymore." And Chris Rock goes, "Then quit."
Yeah. It's not life for you, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes, because touring is our life.
Yeah.
It is how we make our money. Don't get me wrong. I would love to, maybe have a residency someday where I don't have to, Vegas is a good place for that, where you can go but I don't want to be in Vegas. I want to be in Texas. So, I take the time off that I need. All major holidays, hunting season, I take off. December, starting next week, I'm in town. I'm in Texas. I'm hunting, and I'm doing San Antonio. I am doing NFR in Vegas, but it's Vegas. And then I'm off for like 3 weeks till Christmas. So, I'm constantly touring, but I'm also taking 4th of July off, Easter off, Halloween off.
Yeah.
My kids' birthdays I take off, so it really works out that I'm on the road 3 weeks, off 1. On the road 3 weeks, off 1. And nowadays I'm doing such big venues, I'm only gone Friday, Saturday. So, I'll kiss my kids in the morning, tomorrow morning, and then they'll see me Sunday at 8:30. I get home.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's badass. That is badass. And, it takes a special person to be able to do this. Not anybody can do what you do, right? And I think it's pretty fucking badass. But I have so many questions because as a kid growing up, you hear like, oh, you're funny, you're this or that. But it's not just being funny. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this writing ability, right? And it's the delivery. It's the fact that like you could say the same narrative 6 different ways, but only one way is really funny, right? And it's like I just wonder like what's your process or what's how
Well,
do you do that?
you know, I mean, now I'm at the point where I know how to tell a story. So when I
Yeah.
start telling the story for the first time, it's above average, right?
Sure.
But I think what makes a great comedian, and I really try to be a great comedian, is emotion and heart.
Yeah.
Right? Are you saying something? You know, and a lot of guys can be funny, and a lot of guys can make you laugh, and you leave the show and you go, man, that guy was funny, and then somebody goes, you go, God, we went to see this guy last night, and he was so funny, and then they go, man, what did he talk about? And you go, man, you know, I don't know, he was just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
The good comedians, the great comedians, you get in the car and you're having a discussion afterwards.
Right.
You know, you're going, oh my gosh, you know, that happened to us. And or do you believe that he said that? Or do you agree with him? Do you disagree with him? Or, man, I'm on the same page as that guy. It sparks conversation, right? So that is the secret is, can I be funny? Can I draw emotion? Can I get you to think? Can I get you to see something a different way? Can I get you to walk away from this experience a better person? Can I, you know, that's my angle is, hey man, here's all the things I'm going through in my life, and here's the heart of it. And at the end of all of it, I hope you understand that I love my wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that it was done all in love. So, you know, that's the tricky part, because I've always been funny. I've always been able to walk on stage. I'm always the funniest guy in the room. I've always made people laugh. But now, you know, my set now that I'm going to put on Netflix, I couldn't be prouder of it, because, you know, I talk about how much I love my parents and how hard they worked to give me the opportunities that I have. And there's grown men crying because they're thinking about their dad, but they're also laughing their head off because it's funny. And that's the kind of stuff, to me, that makes a comedian great, right? Is the and that's that's the hard part, right? So when you meet that guy at work, or that guy you meet at a bar and he's funny, do you walk away going, God, man, that guy made me think, man. Yeah. That guy touched me. That guy, you know, or gal, that man, they made me really have emotions. So that's the difficult part. And it took me 20 years to figure that out and to get good at that.
Nice. No, I can't imagine, but I think your comedy is really good, and I think the fact that you've honed it in this way, I cannot wait to see the Netflix special.
When's that coming out?
Yeah, I obviously you have to go do it.
I know when it's coming out. I can't tell you.
Okay.
We
You ain't gonna tell nobody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just
Nobody watching this podcast.
Just between us. Yeah.
No. No. You know, we are. Let's just say it'll be early next year.
Cool.
We're super excited about it, and you know, I've been able to get to here, and I honestly believe that this special is the special that's going to make me a household name. You know, I always tell people, you know, when I walk through HEB right now, I'm 1 in 10. You know, 1 in 10 people go, oh man, that's Steve Trevino.
Yeah.
And then the other 9 are like, who the fuck is Steve Trevino? Right. But I think after this, it might be 3 to 10 or 4 to 10.
Yeah. Hey,
love that.
Listen, we were in HEB. Who was it? James. HEB got recognized.
Yeah, so we're like 1 in a million, but that's
one
fine.
like one in like 18 million HEBs. Yeah, James got recognized. It was, dude. It was the craziest thing. Go ahead.
I think his battery's dying or something.
We lost him.
His wife didn't charge his
didn't
iPad.
Charge the
and he
iPad.
lost it.
There it is.
Right, go get her cell phone.
Yeah. And you know what? This is why it's so
That's perfect.
Yeah. It sucks.
No, that's like the perfect. That just makes sense the way he's talking about the whole thing. Like,
no, it does.
Yeah,
you know, it is what it
My
is.
wife, I'm talking about. Yeah, well, that's how it ends. Then I guess, isn't it?
Well,
Hey, that was hilarious, man. My stomach hurts from laughing.
Oh,
No,
good.
man,
Yeah.
so good, right? So good.
Well, what I love about comedians, especially ones like him, is like when they kind of like push that social boundary a little bit. They'll say jokes that you don't feel comfortable joking, and then it kind of like eases everybody back. It's
That's
like
it.
a little
It's like, hey,
anti-PC,
chill the
you know,
fuck
in a
out,
very
man.
good way. You know,
It ain't that big of a
Yeah,
deal,
yeah.
right?
Love
Yeah,
it.
Bill Burr. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, some of
They
them
all
go way
do it.
past the line.
Yeah, right.
And
Damn.
I think he rides the line pretty well, and he is super relatable, which I think is what he was kind of hitting at with hit the emotions of the audience or whatnot.
Especially with the married crowd audience.
Oh, totally, totally.
Yeah, no, I totally think so. So, hey, Steve, thank you so much for coming on the show. We definitely appreciate it, and we're looking forward to your Netflix show coming up early next year. So look out for that. Then go back and watch everything else. Like he has a bunch of different specials you can look up. I mean, it's very easy, but funny guy,
Super funny.
very relatable. And then go look at the podcast. The podcast, in my opinion, is very amazing because it is a husband and wife, and it's this report back and forth. So
we got him back in.
Yep. He's back.
Okay, we were just talking about how you got recognized at HEB by your 5th grade elementary school teacher. That doesn't count.
Right. No, it doesn't count. Listen, it wasn't me either, right? It was James, but this lady came up to him and she was like, "Hey, do you do social media?" And James was like, "I don't know how to answer that." He goes like, "Yeah, I guess." Like she's like, "Are you in barbecue?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, hold on." She goes, "Hold on. My husband's gonna be so excited." And she looks over and she goes, it's him, right? So this dude comes rolling up with his cart and he's like, "Hey, listen, big fan, whatever else. Hey, you're talking about making James's day."
Oh my God, he still talks about
talk about this for months, dude. Months. This is like you know what I mean? Like we're a podcast that we've got some followership and whatever else. But for him to have that happen to him, he's the nicest, most quietest guy, reserved. It's not him, right? His head blew up. I mean, this dude wore a gold chain or something. You know what I mean? Like he was like, "Dude, I have hit the big time." I don't know, man. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Hey, we're blaming your wife for not letting that iPad charge up.
Yeah,
okay?
it's her
That's why
fault.
we're losing you.
Well, I mean, I got full bars. That's all I'm saying. But no, look, guys, I love what you guys are doing, man, and hopefully you'll have me back on, and
100%.
We'll get to talk barbecue, or I'll send you pictures of my shitty briskets, and we'll continue to talk some barbecue. But big shout out to HEB because, dude, I don't know what HEB is doing or where they get their meat, but HEB is the place to go. I mean, it's unbelievable, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it is absolutely incredible the meat that HEB gets, and I don't know who makes V&V sausage, but that's my only sausage that I get. That's the best one out there.
Nice, badass. Yeah, we'll check it out. Hell yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. I got to put the kids to bed, and yes, my iPad is at 8% now because my wife had to charge her phone on my side of the bed.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, Steve, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, man. We are so honored. Seriously, thank you.
Yep.
It's a pleasure, fellas. And when I come to Houston, man, or anytime I'm around, please reach out. I'd love to shake your hand in person, fellas. Thank you.
Yep, 100%.
Looking forward to meeting
Cheers.
you and having a cow's head cooked in the ground with you.
Let's go.
I'm down, baby.
I will
Later,
dig a hole.
fellas.
I will dig a
See you
hole.
later.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Right? Jeez. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Wives, am I right?
Wives.
Tell me about it.
I'm not saying that. Y'all can say that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
She's
that.
not listening anyway.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
worry
not.
about it.
She does listen. I'm not. She told me today. She goes, "Just listen to the podcast." Blah blah. I was like, "Okay, Jesus, we have feedback here." Like, it's not. You don't have to tell me everything, right? You just, hey, good podcast. But she's like, didn't sound like it was. I was like, okay. Didn't sound like what, right?
Excuse me. Amy is an angel.
No,
and you
she's
need to
an
stop.
angel.
I can't believe you say anything bad about her. What's wrong with you?
I'm
Like,
not
what
saying
is
anything
actually
bad.
wrong with you?
Yeah. Jeez.
I don't even know your wife, but how dare you?
Yeah, thank you, Roll. Hey, you know what? If anybody has my back, it's Roll, and thank you so much for putting a knife in it. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Anything else? It's been a pleasure talking barbecue with you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Peace.
is that what does James say?
That's what he says.
Okay, good call.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that.
Hey, thanks everybody. Matt's been great.
Smoke on.
Later.
As we close out, big thanks to SmokerBuilder.com and the NBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely. And cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, SUCKLEBUSTERS, and Dow Strong Knives for their contributions.
And you know Yeti always has our back, and Cooling Nation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing and, of course, the Spicy Nut, the Chicks of Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.